Lucifer in Starlight by George Meredith, 1828 to 1909. On a starred night, Prince Lucifer uprose, tired of his dark dominion, swung the fiend above the rolling ball in cloud part screened, where sinners hug their spectre of repose. Poor prey to his hot fit of pride were those, and now upon his western wing he leaned, now his huge bulk o'er Afric sands careened, now the black planet shadowed Arctic snows. Soaring through wider zones that pricked his scars, with memory of the old revolt from awe, he reached a middle height, and at the stars, which are the brain of heaven, he looked and sank. Around the ancient track marched rank on rank the army of unalterable law. Okay, this is a poem by George Meredith. Let's see, George Meredith was a British poet and author from the Victorian era. His poetry was influenced by John Keats, but eventually he established a reputation as a novelist. So he was born in Portsmouth, and when he was 14 he went to a Moravian school in Germany, where he was educated in religion and humanism, and then he came back to the UK. I think he became an apprentice to a solicitor. Now he was married in 1849 when he was like 21 years old, but his wife left him. She ran off with a painter, and he married again later on in life. He always found it difficult to get an audience for his poetry. So let's see. This poem is about Satan. It's about Satan trying to come out of hell. I think it's Satan who is tired of being in hell, and it's Satan's attempt to get back to heaven, but he's just not able to. So on a starred night, Prince Lucifer uprose, tired of his dark dominion, swung the fiend. So Prince Lucifer, the devil, he's tired of being in hell, being condemned to hell after his uprising against God, and he swings up out of heaven above the rolling ball in cloud part screened. I think here the rolling ball refers to the earth, and he's now above the earth. He's come out of hell and he's above the earth, and he's screened with clouds, so it's cloudy, where sinners hug their spectre of repose. So maybe this to me is referring to purgatory, where people are paying for their sins before going to heaven. They're being purged of their sins. They're being cleaned of their sins, and the sinners are looking up to heaven. But I think Lucifer has managed to get above them, so that these sinners looking at heaven, they can't see heaven. They can't see their spectre of repose, the possibility of going to heaven. And this is like Lucifer is in purgatory himself, before it's decided whether he goes to heaven or hell. Poor prey to his hot fit of pride were those. So these sinners in purgatory were were poor victims of Lucifer's pride, because Lucifer says, I'm going back to heaven, and he starts off to heaven, but he only gets about halfway, and he's blocking out heaven from their eyes. And now upon his western wing he leaned. So Lucifer has great big wings, and he has two wings, and he's leaning on his western wing. Now I think this idea of the west is related to death and the afterlife, because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, he's trying to fly upwards to heaven. Now his huge bulk, or Afric, sands careened. So now he's over Africa, over the sands of Africa. And notice this word careened. Careening is he's out of control. He's doing everything he can to get up, but he's not in control. Now the black planet shadowed Arctic snows, and now he's shadowing the Arctic from the sun, and the black planet, Lucifer, is the black planet. So Lucifer's struggling to get through purgatory, to get through up to heaven, soaring through wider zones that pricked his scars with memory from the old revolt from awe. So he's flying through areas that he remembers, I think, on his way down when he was cast out of heaven. And these are his scars, his suffering, coming down from heaven. And these areas remind him when he revolted against awe, against God. He reached a middle height, so he's halfway there. And at the stars, which are the brain of heaven, he looked and sank. So he looked up at the stars, and he could see the stars above him. And the stars, which are the brain of heaven, I think this is a lovely metaphor. They're the thinking part of heaven. But he looked at heaven, and then he started sinking back down, but he couldn't get up to heaven, and he's sinking back down. So he's attempting to push his own way up to heaven, but that's not the way it works. And now he's sinking down again. He's sinking back to hell, having got halfway, having got to purgatory. But no, he's going back again. Around the ancient track marched rank on rank the army of unalterable law. And I think he's sinking down, and he sees below him the ancient track, rank on rank, of people. I think these are the people either going to heaven or going to hell. But this is the unalterable law. The good will go to heaven, and the bad will go to hell. And there's no way back for Lucifer. So anyway, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Lucifer in Starlight by George Meredith.